Was on the back brakes in an attempt to cool them down. The car is pushed into the garage. In the final stages of the race, it's clear running for the Audis, even though they've still changed leads several times. In GT Pro, Bruno Senna's making it clear that the Aston Martins are not washed up yet. They're putting on a fantastic show for the huge crowd here in Spa. And in between Hall and Canal, there's a close battle for third in GT Am, with the Aston getting the upper hand. Cars 1, 2 and 3 cross the line in that order, all in the same lap, but with Duval and Degrassi over a minute off the leader, and with the Toyota of Buemi 1 lap behind.
Fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, what a race. Didn't start so well for me, bad start, but recovered pretty well. The car ran fantastic. We did a good setup, so all three drivers could push. Then we had this puncture, it set us back quite a lot. And from then on, he was pushing even harder and even harder. So Ben and Marcel were great as well, and it's a great reward for our mechanics. They worked so much, so many hours, and it's great to be back on top here. Especially here, it's been my home track, so I grew up here, so it's fantastic, really happy.
In LMP2, car 49, driven by Caffer, wins, while in GT Pro, it's the Ferrari 51, and in GT Am, the Ferrari number 81. The stage is set for the next round, the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans, a race that will forever be remembered with a heavy heart.
Je voudrais que nos pensées à cet instant aillent à sa maman, à son père, à ses frères, à son épouse, à ses amis et aux Danois qui sont ici aujourd'hui et bien sûr au Danemark. Je vous demande une formidable ovation. Merci.
The loss of the Danish driver early in the race was a tragic moment, as solemnly reminded by Jackie Ickx, in a race that will go down as one of the most difficult in the entire history of the event. Jim France of NASCAR, the official starter, lets the cars go for the 2013 edition. And they charge up to the first corner, up towards the Dunlop Bridge. And Lotterer slips past his teammate Duval to take the lead. In the early stages, the racing's spectacular. Here with the number 3 Audi attacking Davidson in car number 8. A few hours into the running, and Duval, running second, is putting in excellent lap times. As the daylight fades, there's a problem for Jarvis in the Audi number 3. He's blown a rear tyre. In the replay, we find out why. Meanwhile, the Audi number 1's being pushed into its garage for repairs, and this gives new hope to Toyota. In car 8, things are looking a lot brighter, and performance levels are on the rise.
He was 3 seconds faster in first sector than Audi number 2. Yes, you are faster. You are faster for the last 3 laps in sector 1, sector 2. Easy.
Car 1 will head back onto the track in 15th position and will have a lot of work to do to get up through the pack. They've lost over 40 minutes in the pits. Audi number 2 continues to lead at the halfway point in the running. In GT, the Aston Martins are dominating the field at this point. And while weather conditions have been very difficult, the French circuit remains true to form for the hundreds of thousands of spectators there for the annual epic, throughout the night and back into the day. The Oak Racing car number 35 is second in class as the race approaches the three-quarters point. They've had a great battle with their teammates throughout the event. There's a big crash for car 99, the Aston Martin with Makowiecki at the wheel. Rain is causing havoc. The driver's shaken but not injured. Car number 7, Nakajima, slides and spins. He's running third. He gets back into the running okay.
Everything okay, Kazaki? Everything okay? I think so. It's quite wet, sector 1. Copy, sector 1 wet.
The number 3 car of Oliver Jarvis makes it past Nakajima and the Toyota. He's running 1.5 seconds a lap quicker. Another rain shower, and car number 7, the Toyota of Lapierre, crashes heavily into the tyres. The duel is on for first position in GT Pro. Heavy rain is falling, and the cars are still running on slicks. And the number 8 Toyota is in the pits in a bad way.
He managed to bring the car back to the garage, but they're repairing it at the moment.
Christensen is in car 2 and is still leading the field at this stage. As he arrives towards the finish, Christensen can't hold back the emotion. It's Christensen, McNeish and Duval who win Le Mans 2013. 9 victories now for Christensen, Mr. Le Mans. Car number 8 is second and car 3, the Audi, is third. First across the line in LMP2 is car 35 of Oak Racing. The Porsche number 92 of Team Manthe wins in GT Pro with Lieb, Leitz and Dumas. In GTM, it's the IMSA Performance Matmut Porsche of Narak, Boye and Vernet, an all-French lineup. The emotion is incredible. Victory and thoughts for a fellow countryman lost in the race.
We love you. Yeah. We love you.
What a dream.
Jackie Ickx, 6 times winner at Le Mans, saw his record taken away some time back by Christensen on the podium with his 9th victory. Thus ends the Le Mans 24 Hours 2013, the world's most coveted sports car event.
Hello and welcome to Brazil for round 4 of the WEC Championship.
The sunshine is glorious over the Interlagos track, set to get up to 30 degrees Celsius. Not bad for a winter Sunday. As predicted by Fittipaldi in the run-up to this year's event, the crowds are much bigger this year as the sports-loving Brazilians get a taste for endurance racing. The love of sport and life. It's a Brazilian thing. There's a massive crowd here in Interlagos. The stadium's packed for this year's event. A huge success here in Brazil.
The race has started for the 6 hours of São Paulo. We have the 6 hours of São Paulo on the road.
The 2 Audis, numbers 2 and 1, starting from front row of the grid in front of the Toyota number 8, are off to a clean start. Senna, in the first laps, puts in a worthy performance, but it's his teammate Pedro Lamy who's fastest of the team at this point, while Darren Turner's breathing down Senna's neck. Here in Brazil, the differences in performance levels between the Ferraris, Astons and Porsches is minimal. Interlagos is a very tricky track with a lot of traps for the unwary. Stefan Sarrazan's car, the Toyota number 8, is off the track. The Lotus number 32 of Kryhammer and the Toyota came into contact, and both cars have gone plunging off the track and into the tyres. The impact sends the tyres flying, and the yellow flags are out.
Please slow down. We have an accident at D3.
Sarrazan, despite the damage to the front of his car, wants to get back into the running. It's a terrible drama for the team, with only one car in the competition since Le Mans. There'll be no factory Toyota at the checkered flag.
Stefan was just doing a normal procedure around the outside of turn 3. We've overtaken cars all week so far around that corner, and I think you just could see the car on the inside move over to the right suddenly, and I'm not sure why. Maybe he felt that he was going to get out of the way and give Stefan the racing line, but Stefan was already committed.
There are more cars in the GT categories than the prototypes, and the running is incredibly close. Here the Porsche of Bergmeister's in the lead, but under attack from the AF Corsa Ferrari with Fisichella at the wheel. Meantime, a fire breaks out on board car 71 of Villander, and he thinks for a moment that he's done for. The battle for positions in GT categories is hotter than ever. The cars are running close-knit through the tight S's. Ferrari 61 and Porsche 91 both spin. The Corvette number 50, as well as the Aston Martin of Senna, are also involved. And here's a replay of that shot as viewed from onboard Senna's car. Car 1 of Lotter is in the lead with Christensen, Mr. Le Mans, running second, a good 6 seconds behind. Senna's in trouble with broken suspension. What an incredible shame for Senna, the local hero who had his hopes pinned on a podium in front of his home crowd. In LMP2, the close running is keeping the crowds on the edge of their seats. Paycom Racing and Oak Racing, number 24, are fighting for second place in the category. Meanwhile, the G-Drive Oreca Nissan continues to lead the category by a growing margin. The Russian driver Rusinov at the wheel. And there's drama in the pit lane as car number 2, the Audi, heads out onto the track, toting a spare wheel, but only 3 in contact with the track after the wheel flies loose, heading out towards the track. Despite only having 3 wheels, the car's quick to get back into the pits for a new one. Car 1 has led most of the race and crosses the line 4 laps ahead of Car 2 with Alan McNeish driving. It's 4 out of 4 for Audi in the World Endurance Championship and another 1-2 for Audi. It's the second victory of the season for the 2012 champions.
It was a strange race with all what happened over the race, and at the end we just have to bring it home. The car was really great to drive the whole weekend. Thanks to my team, they did a good job.
John Martin brings in the G-Drive racing car for victory after a faultless performance. Gian Maria Bruni in the Ferrari 51 manages to hang on to the lead all the way to the finish, and AF Corsa are victorious in Interlagos in GTE Pro. And the Aston Martin 96 wins in GT Am ahead of the 8-star Ferrari and Proton Porsche.
Hello and welcome in the US for the 5th round of the WEC.
For the 5th round of the championship, we descend upon the only new track on the calendar, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. The 5.5-kilometer track with 20 turns is very technical and physically demanding for the drivers. And while Audi's dominated the start of the season, the Toyota factory boys are itching for revenge. There's no mistaking, we're in the Lone Star State, and after the first highly successful Formula One event here last November, what could be more fitting than to bring the world of endurance racing here? For the drivers with limited practice, the track still has many secrets and tricks up its sleeve. The 2 Audi e-tron Quattros started from the front row. Car 2 is in the lead, coming up the hill, having started from pole. The factory Toyota in third. In the first moments of the race, Car 31, the Lotus, heads off the track, and the race will be neutralized for several laps. We're again on the uphill section as the safety car is headed off, and this time Buemi in the Toyota is on the attack. He's working around Marcel Fassler in the Audi number 1. The pace of the Toyota is right up there though, and Buemi's doing an extraordinary job in this early point in the running. It's a tooth and nail battle between Fassler in the Audi and the number 8 Toyota. Fassler attempts to get around on the outside, but Buemi keeps his trajectory and the 2 cars come into contact. A reminder of a similar battle at Le Mans last year. In LMP2, it's a tussle between the Oak racing cars of Alex Brundle and Bertrand Baguette for second place, just behind the G-Drive racing car 26 of the Australian driver John Martin. Baguette in car 35 doesn't make it through, but is lying in ambush. Finally, Fassler goes for the kill to take back P2, and this time he gets through.